Welcome to Mayong, a place unlike any other you might know. This quiet village rests peacefully on the green banks of the mighty Brahmaputra River, nestled within the Morrigaon district of Assam, in the northeastern part of India. From a distance, it looks like any other beautiful Assamese village, with lush paddy fields, swaying bamboo groves, and traditional houses built on stilts. But Mayong holds a secret, a reputation that has been whispered from one generation to the next for many, many centuries. This is not just a place of scenic beauty, it is famously known throughout India as the land of black magic, a cradle of ancient mystical arts and mysterious traditions that continue to fascinate and intrigue everyone who hears its name. The name Mayong itself is shrouded in mystery, with several stories trying to explain its origin. Some people believe it comes from the Sanskrit word Maya, which means illusion or magic, a fitting name for a place so deeply connected with the supernatural. Others suggest it might have come from the Dimasa word Miyong, meaning elephant, because the area was once home to many wild elephants. Another local legend connects the name to the Manipuri people, who are sometimes called Moirang and are thought to have settled here long ago. Whatever its true origin, the name Mayong has become synonymous with a powerful and hidden world of spells, chants, and esoteric knowledge that has been carefully guarded by its inhabitants for countless years. For centuries, Mayong was a place spoken of in hushed tones, a land where incredible feats of magic were said to be commonplace. People from faraway lands would travel here, not for trade or sightseeing, but to learn the secret arts of sorcery and healing from the village's powerful practitioners, known as Bez or Oja. These were not just simple magicians performing tricks. They were respected healers and wise men who held deep knowledge of nature, herbs, and the human spirit. They could supposedly cure illnesses that baffled doctors, protect people from harm, and even control the forces of nature. The legends say that the magic of Mayong was so potent that it could make a person invisible, turn a man into an animal, or make an entire army vanish into thin air. The reputation of Mayong as the capital of black magic in India is not a recent development. Its history is incredibly old, with references to its magical practices found in ancient Hindu epics like the Mahabharata. It is believed that Ghatotkacha, the mighty son of the Pandava prince Bhima, gained his magical powers right here in Mayong before he joined the Great War of Kurukshetra. This ancient connection gives the village an aura of timeless power and significance. The magic practiced here was a complex blend of local tribal beliefs, tantric rituals, and ancient Hindu traditions, creating a unique system of knowledge that was passed down secretly from teacher to student, often within the same family, ensuring that the secrets remained within the village's protective embrace. The stories that come from Mayong are as enchanting as they are unbelievable, painting a picture of a time when magic was a part of everyday life. One of the most famous legends is about the disappearing armies of the past. It is said that in the year 1337, the mighty army of Muhammad Shah invaded Assam with 100,000 horsemen, intending to conquer the region. However, as they approached the area near Mayong, the entire army simply vanished without a trace. Local lore claims that the powerful sorcerers of Mayong cast a great spell of illusion, making the soldiers disappear into thin air, forever lost in the magical mists of the land. This story served as a powerful warning to any outsiders who dared to threaten the people of Assam. Another fascinating tale that locals love to share is about a special kind of magic called Luki Mantra. This was a spell that could make a person completely invisible to others. Imagine being able to walk around without anyone seeing you. The village elders say that thieves from Mayong would use this mantra to sneak into royal treasuries in other kingdoms, fill their bags with jewels, and walk away unseen. But this magic came with a strict rule. The thief had to return before the first light of dawn. If they failed to do so, the spell would break and they would be caught. This story teaches that even the most powerful magic has its limits and rules that must be respected. Otherwise, there would be consequences. The magic of Mayong was not just for grand feats like making armies disappear. It was also used for more personal and sometimes mischievous purposes. One popular story talks about the tiger spell, where a sorcerer could transform a person into a tiger. This was not done for fun, but usually as a form of protection or sometimes as a punishment for someone who had done something wrong. The tale goes that a powerful Bez could chant a mantra and throw a special enchanted leaf at a person who would instantly change into a fearsome tiger. The spell could be reversed, but only by the same sorcerer who cast it, showing the immense power and responsibility that these magic practitioners held over the lives of others. Perhaps one of the most practical and widely known magical practices was the ability to cure ailments with just a simple chant or a touch. There is a famous story about a man who had a terrible backache. He went to a Bez in Mayong for help. The sorcerer did not give him any medicine. Instead, he placed a copper plate on the man's back and started chanting a secret mantra. After a few minutes, the pain was gone. When the Bez lifted the plate, it was stuck firmly to the man's back, as if glued there by an unseen force. The legend says the plate had eaten the pain, and it fell off on its own only after the ailment was completely gone, showcasing a unique form of healing that blended magic with belief. The source of Mayong's magical knowledge is said to be preserved in ancient manuscripts, some of which are centuries old. These are not ordinary books made of paper. Instead, they were written on sanchi pat, which are thin sheets made from the bark of the sanchi or agarwood tree. These precious texts contain thousands of secret mantras and detailed instructions for performing various rituals and spells. They cover a wide range of topics, from simple healing remedies for common sicknesses to complex spells for controlling spirits, taming wild animals, and even achieving supernatural powers. These manuscripts were considered the most valuable treasures of Mayong, passed down through generations of magical practitioners who guarded them with their lives. Sadly, over the long course of history, many of these priceless manuscripts have been lost. Some were destroyed by floods, fires, or simply the passage of time. Others were said to have been taken away or hidden so well that they can no longer be found. The elders in the village speak with a sense of loss about the vast amount of knowledge that has vanished forever. They say that the most powerful and dangerous spells were deliberately hidden or destroyed by the sorcerers themselves, who feared that such potent magic could fall into the wrong hands and be used for evil purposes. What remains today is just a small fraction of the immense magical library that once existed in Mayong. The magic that was once practiced so openly in Mayong has slowly retreated into the shadows. With the arrival of modern education and scientific thinking, many of the younger generations began to question the old beliefs. They started looking for logical explanations for things that were once attributed to magic. For example, the healing practices, which were once seen as pure magic, are now understood to have a strong connection to Ayurveda and traditional herbal medicine. The Bez of Mayong had an incredible knowledge of local plants and their medicinal properties, which they used to create effective remedies. So, what was once called a healing spell might have been the application of a powerful natural medicine. This shift in perspective has changed how people in Mayong view their own history. While the belief in supernatural magic has faded for many, it has been replaced by a deep sense of pride in their unique cultural heritage. They see the stories of magic not as literal truth, but as a vital part of their identity and history. They understand that their ancestors were not just sorcerers, but also wise healers, psychologists, and protectors of their community. The legends of magic are now celebrated as folklore that makes their village special and famous. The community is working to preserve what remains of their ancient traditions, not as a practice, but as a precious legacy to be shared with the world. If you visit Mayong today, on this day, July 13th, 2025, you will find a village that lives in two worlds at once. It is a place where the ancient past and the modern present coexist peacefully. You will see children going to school and people using smartphones, just like anywhere else. However, you will also feel the presence of its mystical history everywhere you go. The stories of magic are still told by the village elders, and you can still meet families who are descendants of the famous Ojas of old. While they may not practice the powerful magic of their ancestors, many still possess a deep knowledge of traditional healing with herbs, and people from nearby areas still come to them for help with certain ailments. To help visitors and the younger generation understand its unique past, the village has established the Mayong Central Museum and Emporium. This museum is a treasure chest of the village's magical history. Inside, you can see some of the surviving ancient manuscripts with their mysterious scripts and symbols. There are also various artifacts on display, such as ritual swords, strange-looking pots, and other tools that were once used by sorcerers in their ceremonies. The museum does a wonderful job of telling the story of Mayong, separating the facts from the legends, and showing how the practices of healing and magic were deeply intertwined with the local way of life. Beyond the museum, the entire landscape of Mayong feels like a living exhibit. The village is located right next to the Pobitora Wildlife Sanctuary, which is famous for having a dense population of the great Indian one-horned rhinoceros. You can take a thrilling jeep safari or an elephant ride to see these magnificent animals up close. The connection to nature has always been a core part of Mayong's identity, as the ancient healers and sorcerers drew much of their power and knowledge from the forests and the animals that lived within them. A visit to Mayong is therefore a complete experience, blending history, mystery, and the stunning beauty of nature. In conclusion, Mayong is much more than just the land of black magic. It is a place of incredible stories, deep-rooted traditions, and a resilient culture that has learned to adapt to the changing times. Whether you believe in the magic or not, a visit to this enchanting village offers a unique opportunity to step back in time and explore a fascinating chapter of India's hidden history. It is a place that encourages you to wonder, to question, and to appreciate the thin line that often exists between magic, belief, and knowledge. Mayong reminds us that some mysteries are best left unsolved, allowing them to continue inspiring awe and curiosity for generations to come.